Hello Facebook, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends. We are back in the blending kitchen, ready to bring you Slawsome roasted cauliflower. This stuff is really great. I've fallen in love. But then again, when don't I fall in love with flavor? Seriously. So I tell you what we're going to, I need to go ahead and put this in the comments. So I'm going to skip that way by my computer, put our recipe in the comments. And so what we're going to be needing tonight, so just in case you guys want to follow along, right? We are going to need, of course, Slawsome veggies. Let's see if I can bring it back because this light is a little bright. There we go. Slawsome veggies. Paprika. Wonderful stuff, paprika. You can get smoked or non-smoked, it's up to you. We're gonna need olive oil. Liquid smoke, my darlings. Definitely wonderful stuff. And of course, last but not least, a beautiful head of cauliflower. So I'm going to go ahead and skip on over here and put this in put the recipe in the comments so you guys can follow along. I'll be right back. It's taking a little while for this to get to the page and whatnot, so I do apologize. I'm still here. I haven't let you guys down yet. So I'm going to follow. Aha, we have our video right here. And let me see here. Where did I put it? Okay. And go figure, I accidentally closed it out. So we're taking a little longer than usual. So do bear with me here, guys. There we go. We have a recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to need 3 measures. We're going to need tablespoon, teaspoon, and quarter teaspoon. And we're going to start off with our head of cauliflower. Now, of course, rinse it in the whole 9 yards. I like to keep the wrapper on hand because it makes a wonderful thing to discard the extra leaves and stuff like that with. So we're going to have a knife, your cauliflower, cutting board, and gonna throw all the leavings on that nice little wrapper so you can just tie it up in a nice little bundle and put it in the trash. So we're gonna start off right here. As you notice, there's always these leaves and such like that right on the back of your cauliflower. So we're going to make some incisions right around this bottom portion. Hello, Anna. How are you tonight? We're going to cut these leaves off. So we're doing some incisions right over around this stalk, and sooner or later we're going to be able to just twist that off. So. And tonight, I'm not dealing with a horribly dull knife. So, we're moving up in the world. If you guys missed last week's, I actually ended up cutting myself very minorly because I had a dull knife. So, make sure your knives are sharp. And, okay, just break off your leaves as you cut through them. Some of them don't cut all the way. So you're going to have to do this again. And I suggest you do this in short, easily controlled slices here. Definitely. Short and easily controlled are the key. Okay, now I can just twist that off, peel off the rest of the leaves, and we are starting to be in business. So I want the whole bottom of this exposed. You see there's still a few itty bitty leaves in here that I can pull off. I want those totally, totally off. And why? I'm gonna be able to get spices up under here. It's gonna be so good. Okay, and get these out of the way. Always gotta have them while you cook, right? So, now these little itty bitty leaves can be easily just sliced right through and popped off. So don't make too much of a production of it. You know, it's probably not hugely critical that all of them come off, that all very, very cleanly. No, just make sure that they're pretty much mostly off. And we are good. So we've got a nice clean underbelly here. We're gonna put that aside in a baking dish. I love stuff like this. Why? Because first of all, you can see through it. Second of all, you know, you're always using different sizes of things. Honestly, this is a pie plate, a deep dish pie plate, but that's all good, right? So, get all of my leavings off of there, and we can put that aside now with the knife. We don't need the knife any longer in this one. Instead, what we need is a different container, smaller container. We're going to need a basting brush, and I recommend you get this wet before you start using it, or else it's going to soak up a lot of your spices and such, and you don't want that. And a spoon to stir with. So what are we going to do? Start off with the Slawsome. We're going to go 1.5 teaspoons. So, 1.5 teaspoons of it, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, and by the way, I have been seriously thinking of mixing these two just like this and calling it seasoned saltless. Why? Because it tastes a lot like seasoned salt. It's really fantastic. So, 1.5 teaspoons of each one of those. Actually, I don't believe I put 1/2 teaspoon in there. So we're going to do that real quick. There we go. 1.5 teaspoons of each of those. 5 to 6 tablespoons of olive oil. We are going to definitely make this into a marinade. And we want this to kind of crisp on the outside while it's in the oven. So yes, it is kind of oil heavy, but you know, it's so good. So what we're looking for here is actually kind of a real thin paste, or a kind of like a, I'm going to do 5 of these to start with, or a really, well, thick, a thick marinade kind of thing. And so we're going to be definitely looking for some body in here, really kind of a thick liquid, or a runny paste is what we're looking for. And so we're looking at a nicely thick liquid here, right? And it's got a lot of really great character to it. And I don't want any more olive oil than that. Sometimes your spices are a little drier than others, so you're going to kind of play with this and see what you like best. Next is the Wright's liquid smoke. And I use the Wright's simply because it's available. If you can find a different liquid smoke or a different smoke flavor, put this on the smoker instead of using this stuff. Oh my word. We tried that last week and it was phenomenal. Oh wow. Okay. 1/4 teaspoon. You don't need much. You really don't. And so there's that. Oopsie. Wrong lid. You know, I love it when a person can laugh at themselves, right? You know, life is too short. So go ahead and stir that up again. And now we pull over our pie plate with our cauliflower in it. And this is the fun part. You kind of get to get messy. Honestly, I think I prefer the silicone brushes to the bristled brushes, but you know, it's what I had at the moment. So go ahead and stir this up. And you're going to drizzle some on the top of your cauliflower. Oh, And then brush it around. Make sure that everything gets into these wonderful little cracks. Oh, yes. And you see that wonderful color? Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, I need to bring you guys over this way, don't I? Come with me, my darlings. Okay, let's see here. Let's see how I can do this. There we go. We have the cauliflower view. Nice. So when I did this earlier, I went ahead and I used a spoon to ladle this over. And what you can do is, if it's thin enough, it'll just kind of run all over the place, which is wonderful. Make sure you sop up all those wonderful spices and pick it up. And you see how it's just kind of running everywhere. This is kind of what you want. You want this to be just a beautiful little marinade. And if you can let this sit for a little while before you bake it, oh, wow. You get tons and tons of flavor going on. So I'm going to kind of pour this in there because I want all this flavor to penetrate. Yes. And there we go. Go ahead and cover everything you can. Definitely. And look how it's leaking out of there. Oh, yum. Work it into the cracks and crannies in there. There we go. Yes. And isn't that a thing of beauty? Seriously, that is a wonderful thing of beauty. And I've got messy hands. Excuse me. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring you guys back up this way so I can see you. So, what we're going to do next is we are going to put this in a 350 degree oven for, about an hour, hour and a half. Depending on the size of your cauliflower and, how little crunch you want in there. There we go. And how little crunch you want in there. Maybe as much as 2 hours. And you ought to see this other one that's just about ready to come out. I snitched a little bit. So, I gotta show you guys. Ooh, wee! The one bad thing about glasses, right? Oh, this is so wonderful. Listen to that sizzle. Oh, yes! Okay, this is really hot, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Wow, and listen to that. Yes. So, this is what we got, people. And you don't need much. You just need a little bit of leaven in the oven there. And make sure I'm not melting that. This is great. So I've got to grab some of this. I really do. I really, really do. So you guys have to see this up close. Let's see. Woo! Hello. We're a little off kilter today. Okay. There we go. Now, there we are. So this thing is just gorgeous. Just downright gorgeous. Can you see all that? Seriously. And so when you're doing this, just go ahead and give it a slice. Now this may not be done enough for some of you guys, but I'll tell you, I'm loving it. So you can stick a fork in this and see if it is tender enough for you. Oh, look at that. Seriously, look at that browning. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. And so, yeah, definitely an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the size of your cauliflower. And Now, also, you're going to want to do salt to taste. Now, on this one, I actually sprinkled some kosher salt over the top after I was done. And when I snagged that little piece, oh, yum. So, let me see. Oh, this is just too good. Really good. The outside has a beautiful texture. It's a little crunchy. Ooh, got crispy on the outside. The inside is still a little crunchy. It's not overcooked. It's not mushy. And this has only been in for about hour 15 minutes. And so you guys will, depending on how crunchy you like your vegetables, hour and a half should be absolutely perfect. And so this is something that's absolutely great. You can make it ahead, stick in the fridge, and just, let it marinate for a while. It actually gets a little bit on the spicy side, which is fun. And I think that's the paprika, honestly. But anyway, so I didn't expect this to be so quick, honestly. So tell you what, guys, this can absolutely be a question and answer session. So if you guys have any questions on, what am I doing wrong maybe? Questions on anything cooking that I might be able to answer to you, I'm happy to go ahead and answer for you. Just go ahead and pop something in the comments. And this is wonderful. This tastes awesome. Seriously. And look at this. This is how it started. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love what a little bit of oil will do to something like this. That's where you get that crispy outside, is a little bit of oil on things. And so if you're looking for something like that, especially when it's been in the oven, you don't always get a crispy outside without the oil polymerizing on your food. And that's basically what happens. I know that's a multi-syllabic word that a lot of people go over, but it's actually just fine. And that's how you actually get cast iron to have that non-stick surface, is you let oil smoke and get to the smoking point, and it polymerizes on the bottom and creates a very natural non-stick surface, so you don't get aluminum or Teflon or anything like that in your food. It's really wonderful. So I don't see any comments, any questions. But so as a rehash, what we have here is we have a teaspoon and a half of Slawsome, teaspoon and a half of paprika, 5 tablespoons of olive oil, maybe 6, depending on, how dry, how packed your spices are. You want a thin paste, basically, something that might be able to run a little bit. And then 1/4 teaspoon of Wright's liquid smoke. Adds just a wonderful smokiness to it. And I know not everybody has a smoker. Not everybody wants to do something like this on a smoker or a barbecue, which is why we did it in the oven. But it is so kosher to do it in the smoker if you have one, if you have like a pellet smoker where you can see what temperature things are at. Oh, seriously, you got to do this. Absolutely. But so for all of us who don't have such things, Wright's liquid smoke is a wonderful way to get that just beautiful smoky flavor without having a smoker on hand. And it just works very, very well. So you're going to make it into a thin paste, make a mess, and brush it all over your cauliflower, top, sides, and bottom. Try to get it in every nook and cranny. Bake for an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the size of your cauliflower, at 350 degrees. And just get this really wonderful crust on there. Oh, the texture is wonderful, right? And then you have yourselves a crowd pleaser. Add salt to taste if you like. And there we go. There you have it. I think that we have ourselves a winner, if you ask me. But then again, you know, there's not much that I don't say tastes good if it's done right. Right? So, anyway, I think that's about it. Keep things tasty. See you next week. And meanwhile, I hope to see you at the farmers markets, on the page, or just kind of anywhere. Give me a tag if you need me for anything. Message the page, and we will be here for you. Keep things tasty. I'll catch you later.